Lawrence D. Adams. Let's go.
Salute everyone. This is Lawrence D. Adams. Hey, I came to drop something today. The right men are the gatekeepers to women's sexuality. Let me break this down today. I was listening to China White. Then I thought about something that Kevin Samuels has said in the past. One of the things he used to say is that men control the access to relationships, and that women control the access to her sex. And I said, well, you know, at that time, that made sense. But now that I thought about some things, the right man controls access not only to relationships, but he also controls the access to her sexuality. Now, this doesn't mean that the woman doesn't have a say in none of this. What it means is that the right men that she wants will give him the keys to her sexuality. There's a complete difference. And what happens is we have men chasing after women's sexuality while she gives her sexuality or her sex freely to the men that she wants to. He becomes the gatekeeper, whether he wants it or whether he wants the sex or whether she doesn't want to give it away. So let me say that again. The right men are the gatekeepers of women's sexuality. See, when you're the right man, and you are at the top of the apex in your tribe, you control if you want to have sex with that woman or not. You make a decision whether you're going to engage her on that level. The problem is a lot of men are not on that level to have that much control where they become the gatekeeper of women's sexuality. So what they do is they look for tricks and ponies to try to take her off the pedestal, or why they got her on the pedestal, and realize she only allows the man who's on the pedestal to be the gatekeeper of her sexuality. This little secret is she does it for the men that she wants. I've said this before and I shared it with my sons. Women want to have sex more than you know. You think women don't want to have sex? They do. But when you become that man or the gatekeeper, you decide on what level you're going to engage her and having sex with her. You become the gatekeeper. You determine if this is what you want to do. But if you're ruled by your lower nature and not by your higher nature, she will control you with her sexuality. And a lot of men are controlled by their sexuality, and the woman strings them along, and she doesn't have respect for him at all, because what she knows is all she got to do is give you a sniff, a possibility, or a thought that you may get some, and you would do backflips and cartwheels and pull out the credit card. But when you are at the apex of your tribe and you know who you are, and you're on your pedestal, you control the access to when she gives her sex. And if I really break it down, if I really want to break it down, actually it's better for her when you have control of her sexuality, because now she's able to lose control and be freely yours. Let me say that again. It is powerful when you take the reins from her and she doesn't have to control. She can relax in her femininity. What's going to happen is this. She's free to explore all the colorful palettes of her femininity when you realize that you are the gatekeeper of her sexuality. You could take it from 1 to 2 or 1 to 100 because you become the gatekeeper of her sexuality. A lot of men have not graduated to that level, I understand. But I want you to realize, no, you control, you are the gatekeeper of not only the relationship side of it, but also her sexuality. It's a common thing known, but I'm going to say it again. Certain men getting certain responses from women that other men don't get. There's certain things that a woman will do in the bedroom, in the kitchen, in the house that she wouldn't do for another man. Why? Because she understands it is in her DNA to follow the man who's on the top of his game, who's at the apex of who he is, that she realized, she relinquished her control and says, you are the gatekeeper to everything I have. Now, that's strong to say because a lot of men, that takes responsibility. That takes you not being emotional. That takes you being solid in who you are. But when you realize that, this changes the dynamic in the relationship, and every woman wants to take off her cape. She's tired of being superwoman. She wants to be able to come home or come to where you are at and say, hey, here it is. But she cannot do it with just any man. That's why I said the right man is the gatekeeper of her sexuality. And you think because she doesn't do it with you that she wouldn't do it with somebody else, you have another thing coming. A woman who realized that this man is completely thorough and knows who he is and is not moved by anything that she does. He's not moved by her outer exterior or her aesthetics. He's not moved by her talking about her sexuality. He's only moved by what he chooses to do. This is Lawrence D. Adams. This may be a little bit much for you guys, but I wanted to share that because only the right men are the gatekeepers of women's true sexuality. If you don't believe me, this wasn't for you. And I'm out.